This is the AlgoLaser Pixi Smart Laser Engraver with enclosure. And I got the 10-watt flavor. The promise here was simple: compact footprint, safer enclosed design, and a touchscreen workflow so you can start making stuff without living inside a desktop app. I ran some of the sample projects first and then engraved my own logo, tried a photo style image, I tested a coated metal dog tag, and pushed it a bit on acrylic and thicker wood to see where the limits show up. So what is this thing? The Pixi is a compact diode laser engraver. It has a 100 by 100 millimeter work area. So think small projects like tags and ornaments, coasters, keychains, little signs, quick little gifts, and the kind of personalization people do for friends and family. AlgoLaser also positions it as beginner-friendly with the AlgoOS on the touchscreen and an optional phone app workflow. So let's talk about the hardware and the build. Setup was the strongest first impression. Plug it in, power it on, connect to Wi-Fi, and it's ready to run. Feels like it was designed for someone who doesn't want to assemble an open frame, square it up, and troubleshoot cables for an hour. The touchscreen on it is small but pretty responsive, and the menu flow is pretty easy to understand too. There's a mode where you can draw and sketch, and it does include a stylus with it out of the box, but it's one of those like squishy tip kind of styluses, so it's more of a tap and navigate tool than like a precision pen. You're not going to be creating any kind of super intricate designs here. The enclosure is a big part of the appeal of this machine. It's clearly meant to be a more controlled, contained experience than an open frame diode laser. There's also a safety shield feature that you can toggle on and off. I turned it off briefly so I could watch the laser for the filming of the video, but normally you'll want to leave that safety feature on. And you'll still want proper eye protection and ventilation. On the physical design, I liked the adjustable height feature. And you can pop off the top lid and adjust the laser height with a knob on top of the laser module. The lid is like plexiglass, and it was actually a little bit tighter than I was expecting. So it felt like a little more like pry it off carefully than just like pop it up. It also includes an exhaust tube that mounts onto the back, which is a real win for out-of-the-box usability. But the tube isn't super long, so wherever you place the Pixi actually matters. But at least you're not immediately hunting for parts to vent out smoke. Now for onboarding. On the touchscreen, the projects area is where you'll get your first quick wins. It includes sample designs, and I like that it shows the estimated time and size before you run a job. That makes it feel a little bit more approachable, especially for beginners. A couple of quirks did pop up though. Like I saw firmware update prompts that when I clicked update, it would then say the firmware was already current. And in the settings, I had to manually select the laser module, and I chose the 10 watt, which worked fine, but I expected that part to be auto-detected. Onto the features and specs. I'm going to keep this high level because specs only matter when they affect your workflow. So this Pixi does come in multiple power options, a 3, a 5, and a 10 watt flavor. It supports common file types like JPEG, SVG, PNG, bitmaps, G-codes, and DWG. AlgoLaser also lists support across phone and computer workflows and mentions the AlgoLaser app along with common laser software options. Now, I tried this with LightBurn and it didn't recognize the machine when I plugged it in and did a search, so I guess take that as you will. The smart features are mostly about the touchscreen experience, with like built-in projects, quick text engraving, turning sketches into engravings, and a reverse engraving option for higher contrast results. Material-wise, it's positioned as capable on lots of common hobby materials like wood, acrylic, glass, and coated metal, with a note that transparent materials may need a colored backer or etching spray. Now on to integrations and compatibility. So in reality, I just ended up using the phone app. Once it connected, sending jobs from the phone worked the way you'd expect it to. Where things did get confusing was file management on the device itself. The interface references an SD card and even has SD card options in the menus, but I couldn't find an obvious, easy to access SD card slot anywhere on the machine, especially places you'd expect it to be, like on the front, easily accessible. There's also USB-C file transfer, but that does assume you're parked next to a computer or hooked up to a machine. So my practical takeaway is the touchscreen is great for running the built-in projects, and the app is the easiest path for running your own files. Now, using this in the real world, using the built-in projects was the smoothest experience. It was like, pick a design and make a thing. And the Pixi did that pretty well. When I moved to my own logo, it came out legible on the first pass, but some of the fine details needed tuning. That's pretty normal with diode lasers because your results depend a lot on the source image and your power and speed settings. Now, photo style engraving was a lot less impressive for me. The preview looked grainy and the results really leaned the same way. It's the kind of thing you can probably improve with better image preparation and fine tuning of the laser settings though. But out of the gate, it wasn't that wow moment. Realistically, the best surprise was coated metal. I marked a coated dog tag at 100% power and I slowed the speed way down and it worked great. It looked like it stripped the coating and revealed the design underneath, if that makes sense. And running a second pass on it made it even cleaner. So for dog tags and keychains and coated items like that, that's a very real, this machine can be useful result. Now, cutting is where my tests hit a brick wall. Acrylic, it did engrave, but it didn't cut through my piece of acrylic I was using. Thicker wood with multiple passes also didn't cut through for me either. Now, that doesn't mean it can't cut anything, but based on what I tested quickly, I'd just treat Pixi as an engraver first and be conservative about buying it specifically for cutting thicker materials. So who should get this? If you want a compact enclosed engraver that's beginner friendly and you're mainly doing personalization projects like wood engravings or small gifts and dog tags and coated items, this Pixi laser fits that plan. It gets you started fast and doesn't demand a big workspace. But if your main goal is cutting thicker materials or you want a workflow that's totally centered on a desktop app without any friction, you may want to look at other options, or at least go into this one expecting a little more trial and tuning. Leave a comment about your thoughts on this laser. What did I miss in my review, and who in your life would you buy this for? And I'll see you nerds on the next one.